I'd like to welcome everybody to the Y108 Bowser Nissan Theater. We are joined by MCA Nashville's Jordan Davis.
Woo. Yeah.
There you go. I don't know, it's mid-afternoon crowd. You expect it a little bit better.
No, this is great. Great.
Well, first, thanks for coming to Pittsburgh and joining us. And you come from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Which for Pittsburgh people is pretty important because that's the home of Terry Bradshaw. Yes.
Yeah, and, my dad went to the same high school as Terry.
Yeah, and
he was a freshman when Terry was a senior.
There you go. So Terry didn't have to worry about him beating him out for the game for starting quarterback.
No, it was just Phil Robertson.
Yeah, well, that's a little later on. That's a whole other story. So your brother was here not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago or 3 months ago or so. People don't realize Jacob Davis is your brother, and there is a third sibling.
There is.
I understand.
A little sister.
Yes. Now, does she have a J name too?
She does. Gentry.
Oh, wow.
Gentry with a J.
There you go. So is there a reason behind the JJJ?
I don't know. You know, the funny thing about the name is I don't think there's anything with the J's. I think my mom just, named Jacob and then just stuck with the J's. But we all have 4 names.
Really?
So it's Jordan, Carl, Wheeler, Davis.
Wow.
And Jacob's got 4, and my little sister's got 4 too. And which, I'm sure my mom thought that, like, this is kind of unique. Like, usually everybody has 3. But it's actually sometimes a pain because, like, if, like, your name's wrong on, like, an airplane ticket, like, it's just a whole process. And anytime that happens, I'm always like, Mom, why couldn't you just give me 3 names?
I got to say, that's probably a very Louisiana thing. As soon as you said that, I'm like, it just seems like plantation, old school Louisiana, deep South type thing.
That's it.
There you go. All right, so with your sister, now I understand she's in college and playing instrument as well.
Yeah. She plays guitar, and she's got a great voice, too. She's great.
So music was very important in your life growing up.
Oh, yeah. We did, my dad wrote songs. Okay. My mom played piano in the church. My uncle is a songwriter in Nashville and had songs recorded by Tracy Lawrence and, a lot of other people. But, yeah, music was just, it was around. I always say it was around so much that I never even noticed it. Like, I never even noticed how much music was in my life until I met somebody that I was like, man, what are you talking about? You don't know who that is or who wrote that song. Are you nuts?
All right, so if we get down to Shreveport with you, what are you taking us to see? What's the must-see thing?
The Municipal Auditorium.
All right, did you and your brother compare notes before you came here? That's his answer, too.
That's a Louisiana hayride. That's what I saw, the Elvis shirt. That's where so many people, like, walking into my dad's shop, there was this big poster of one of the first shows of Louisiana Hayride, and it was Elvis Presley, Charlie Pride, Farron Young. All these guys, all these greats that got started right there in Shreveport.
It's a cool looking building too. I saw some pictures online, obviously, but it looks like a pretty cool auditorium. Have you played it yet?
No, I have not.
There you go. Bucket list thing?
That's definitely a bucket list thing. Probably to nobody else, but like to me, that would be the coolest thing in the world.
All right, so what's your favorite thing to do to get away from music? You said music's been part of your life from the get-go, but there's got to be something you need to do to get away from it.
Yeah, I love to fish.
Okay.
I love to fish. I've got 2 little dogs at the house, and I'll go run around with them, and I'll let them run, and I'll watch them. But fishing would be my number one thing. I got a chance to go. Actually, Jacob was with me. We got a chance to go to South Louisiana a couple weeks ago, and about a month ago, and went red fishing and caught a bunch of redfish and flounder. And
who's the better fisherman?
Me, 100%.
He says his favorite thing is golfing. He's horrible at it. Now, can you beat him on the golf course too?
He might have me on the golf course.
Okay, but you got him when it comes to the important stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what's the worst thing you ever did as a kid and got in trouble for?
Oh, God. That I can tell.
Hey, you know what? It's the internet. You can say whatever you want. Yeah. We'll mute it out on the radio.
I'll tell you what, I'll tell one that is part Jacob's fault on this. So he was playing lacrosse in high school.
Okay.
And he had a tournament in Dallas, and they were playing like Friday night, and then they played a game on Saturday morning, and my mom and dad went. My sister was with him. I was in town. Had the house to myself. Invite all my friends over, have this huge party. And Jacob texts me at like 9:30. He's like, "Hey, dude, we're coming back to the house." I'd had a few beverages, and I was like, "Oh gosh!" So I just start rushing people out of the house, start trying to clean the house up, and I left I thought I had everything clean, and I forgot to take the trash cans to the trash bag. I just put them by the front door. And my dad walked in and was just seeing red. And I remember I was mad at Jacob. I was like, dude, 45, you give me 45 minutes notice? Dallas is 3 hours away. Like, what do you think I was doing?
I was going to say, how did this become his fault when you were doing
Because
wrong?
I was like, dude, you couldn't, like, right when you found out that y'all were coming home, you can't shoot me a message?
He was sleeping in the back seat or something.
Probably so. Or no, I think it was probably a little bit on purpose.
Speaking of which, it just so happened I received a text a little bit ago from your brother. Okay, and I need to ask you, why is your batting stance so important that you had to give your brother stitches over it?
Oh, yeah. I got in trouble for that one, too.
Again, Jacob's fault.
Yeah. Well, he shouldn't have walked in my backswing, man. It was a oh, gosh, this was horrible. It was one of those, like, you could buy, like, these broken bats at the Shreveport Captains game in Louisiana. It was like a AA team. And I would stand in the living room, and I would swing in this mirror. And one time, Jacob just comes bebopping through, and I just smoke him right above his eye. And I turn around, I'm like, oh, dude, my bad. And he moves his hand, and then it's just like gushing blood. And I remember I had to call my mom, and I was like, Mom, Jake cut his head open. And she's like, oh my gosh, what happened? I was like, I don't know. We're trying to figure this out. You know? Finally, she's like, Jordan, what happened? I was like, okay. So I hit him in the head with a baseball bat.
So whose swing were you emulating? Because it has to be. So everybody always had one. At that time,
I was like a big, remember Tino Martinez?
Yes.
For the Yankees?
Yeah.
I don't know why I liked his stance so much.
Yeah.
So I'd just sit there and try to swing like Tino Martinez and end up hitting Jacob in the head.
I was Paul O'Neill from the Yankees because I wanted to bat left-handed, but I used a wiffle ball bat. I ended up hitting my brother with it, but that was another story.
I wish I would have had a wiffle ball bat. It would saved Jacob about 8 stitches in his eyebrow.
But it would have cost us a good story.
That's it.
All right, so everybody has something they collect, and normally it's something people wouldn't think they would collect. What's something you collect?
Something I collect, wine tops.
Like corks?
Yeah, like the corks.
What do you do with them?
Wine tops.
I was going to say, well, hey, I didn't know. Maybe you had the spin-off tops. Maybe you like the caps.
That was real Louisiana right there. Those wine tops.
That little cellophane, that little like silver piece you pull off the jugs. Yeah. Is that what you had? Is that what you collect?
Yeah, I don't know. Me and my wife collect those everywhere. Like if we have like we share a bottle of wine, we write the date where we're at, and then we have like this big bucket of them. She's probably gonna do something really cool with them. I mean, right now they're just sitting in a big bucket. But
it beats trying to pack the bottles home.
Yeah, it does.
All right, and finally, I always like to ask this question one of two ways because it adds a little insight into your musical influences. Let's say your album is done, but there's one slot left, and they came to you and said, "Hey, give us a cover song. Give us your favorite cover song to put on it." What are you putting on it?
Man, I'm probably putting on there. It's a downer, but I'm a huge John Prine fan. And,
okay.
I think one of the best songs ever written is Hello in There. Mm-hmm. So I would probably, it'd definitely be a John Prine song, either Hello in There or maybe Sam Stone.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Davis.